I gave this speech to introduce my book, The Quicksand Theatre Company, back at the Pacific Northwest Booksellers Association in September of 2025. And I don't think anyone actually took a video of it, so I'm going to record it now as a cold read for you because I think it's a good introduction to the book. Good afternoon! I'm Molly Ringle, and my book is The Quicksand Theatre Company, coming out in February. It's urban fantasy and a romance, romantasy if you like that term, and the main pair and lots of the other characters are queer as well. When I set out to write this novel, I basically thought, what is the most fun story I could write in my life right now? What type of fictional world do I most want to live in, and with what characters? It was early 2023, we had just all started to drag ourselves out of COVID land, and I was tired and stressed and wanted to give myself a story I loved. Well, that turned out to be a great approach because I had a fantastic time writing this book. I know we're not supposed to pick favorites, but for the time being at least, this has become my favorite book of mine. So what were these things I most wanted to write about? Well, for me at that time, it was cobbling together vibes and themes from stories I loved and then mashing them up and making them into something new. It is not fan fiction with the serial numbers filed off. It is its own thing. But just for fun, I'll tell you my fandom influences and inspirations for it. You don't have to know any of these to understand the story, it's just an extra perk if you do. So those are Howl's Moving Castle, Moulin Rouge, and in book world, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which is also the TV show The Untamed, or MDZS as the fans call it. I think there's a lot of fans out there for all of those things. And I started with the relationship dynamic of the central couple in Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, which kind of falls under the grumpy sunshine trope, as well as the friends to lovers trope. And I overlaid that onto some tropes from Howl's Moving Castle, such as having the inciting incident be a spell making a character's family no longer remember them, or recognize them. Thus, they take refuge in a quirky, magical, itinerant shelter full of colorful characters, in this case, a traveling theater troupe rather than a moving castle. As for Moulin Rouge, the troupe does in fact put on that musical during the novel, for one thing. And for another, I was aiming for something like the atmosphere of that show. The wild mood swings between comic and tragic, the theatrical setting, the irreverence and fun and daring, but also the true love. So this story takes place on an island country I invented in the Pacific Ocean in the modern day, a beautiful place inhabited by powerful fae and many human witches as well as regular humans. It's written in dual point of view, first person, in the voices of the two protagonists, each of whom are under a fae curse, and they meet in this traveling theater company that specializes in comedy. One of them, whose family cannot remember who they are because of this spell, leaves their hometown and jumps into the caravan of one of the actors and takes a job there traveling around the island with the troupe. The actor, meanwhile, is under his own fae curse, which he's keeping secret because he's not sure he's going to survive it and he doesn't want to worry anyone. But he made a deal with a vampire-like fae creature in order to save a friend, and the consequences are due to hit him soon. Incidentally, I think this is the closest thing to a vampire character I've ever written so far, so that's exciting for me too. Inevitably, during the time these two cursed humans are sharing the caravan, they fall in love, but their respective curses and personal baggage are going to be obstacles. Although these characters go through some dark and stressful times during the course of the novel, I feel that the mood of the book is overall cozy, loving, romantic, even fairly often funny. It's not grimdark, it is noble bright. And in fact, another theme the book plays with is the difference between comedy and drama. Where do we draw the line? Can an upsetting event become funny if we tell it the right way, or look back on it the right way? Can we find the absurdity in dark times and make light of it? Not that all of us here are ever thinking about things like that these days, of course. I really hope to find some fellow fans of all those fandoms, as well as anyone into queer fantasy and romance or fae or witchy books in general. Thank you so much for listening.